Life. What up, Steph?
What up?
You know what I'm saying? I had to hurry up and get you on live. I was gonna start cursing up a storm.
Oh yeah, my bad, man. You know we might have to make it a little quicker today, man. You gotta get on the road and go see the family.
Oh, you about to go on a quick vacation?
Yeah, you know, a little quick little vacay up to the Lake of the Ozarks with the family. Chill out.
I love it. I love it. Well, you know what? I'm glad I got you. Shout out to everybody that is here commenting. Don't laugh at me. You could tell I'm alone by the tone of my voice. I know, right? So, Pick Game. Steph, you know one thing we don't play about is our culture. We do not play about when it comes to getting information out, sharing the facts about our history, because if we do not have conversations like this, the information regarding what happened in the past will never be told, and it will end up being an untold story. Let's talk about East St. Louis and the race riot before we get off. Tomorrow, it happened on July 3rd, 1917.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it happened from the 1st to the 5th.
I didn't know that.
So it was a precursor to it that actually kicked off right at the spot where the Hooters downtown is right now. So that's kind of what was.
Stop it, by Keener Plaza.
Yes, that's what kicked it off right there. It started there, and then it spread. And what happened was they was trying to make black people stay in their homes and just like burn their houses down. But it was like, it was a little different than Tulsa, because it wasn't a love story. This was more like a job situation. It was like immigrants, Eastern immigrants and blacks were kind of like competing for the same kind of jobs and stuff like that. So that's what kind of kicked this one off.
And what's crazy is the fact that because white people went on strike, what was the company name? Like aluminum, something like that?
Let me see. I think it was a railroad strike. It was something with the railroad. Yeah, but I don't know the exact company.
But the fact that it was white people who were on strike, this company hired black people instead. And due to the fact, instead of burning up that warehouse, right, when nobody was there, they decided to burn up East St. Louis, which caused this whole race riot. How many people died?
Well, the thing about a lot of these riots, first off, let's get away from calling them riots, because in a lot of situations, they're just massacres. A riot is what they tell you after the fact to make it seem like it was cool to do that to these people because they rioted. But that's not really what it was. It wasn't a riot. It was a massacre, and that's what it was. It was a cold-blooded massacre. They killed hundreds of people. You never know how many people it was, and to this day, it's like that for a lot of these so-called riots, where they don't really have specific numbers of how many people were actually lost. So the document is saying 100, but if it's 100, it's probably 1,000 or, multiple hundreds. You never know. So
yeah. I know we're not going to stay on too long. Can you share your experience when you went
to
East St. Louis when it was 100 years?
Okay, so when we went to the 100 year of the East St. Louis, it was definitely a smaller setting. So that's one thing. I think it's kind of like the culture shock when we were in Tulsa. Like you walk up on somebody like, you never knew about this, you live here, but they don't teach it in the schools. It's the same here. They don't really teach us in the schools that this happened right here on, like we're standing on the ground that it literally happened on. So, but it was the same kind of feeling, a somber, educational type of thing where it's like, wow, I didn't know this, but at the same time, it's like, wow, nothing was ever done to right the wrong. We still don't know about it. I mean, a lot of people didn't show up. It didn't get any news coverage. And, it was crazy because I talked about that a lot when it was going on because, you got all this coverage. What's before, this tragedy? You got Pride.
Facts.
Then you got.
I was going to be like the 4th of July.
No, then you got the 4th with the VP Fur and the Veiled Prophet, and that all played a part in it as well. So when you talk about this, race riot that happened in East St. Louis, the Veiled Prophet were actually kind of like, they were the ones that were making sure people didn't come across that bridge to St.
So
Louis.
wait a minute, hold on. You just said that real discreetly. Tell me more. What you mean? I don't. Let me learn something today.
Okay, well, you got to understand there was events going on. This is during a holiday time. So, the Veiled Prophet, would, you know, which was kind of like, I guess a more prominent version of the KKK.
Yeah.
So, you know, they weren't just these people that were in the backwoods that were just not trying to get it, that were just hating. These were people that actually had power in the city that didn't want to reveal their identity. So when they did this kind of stuff, but yeah, this kind of stuff was going on then. So of course they was trying to keep us from coming over there. So that's how they kept people over there. They were protecting these bridges with armed, you know, men, and making people jump off the bridge or shooting at people that was trying to escape from what was going on over there into St. Louis. So it was crazy.
When we think about what St. Louis, East St. Louis, the history of our city and where we are now, you can feel that it's some type of negative energy that's just kind of like on top of our city, right? Like you can definitely feel it. And it's not that St. Louis is a bad city, because look, I personally don't think it is, but because we have a lot of cool stuff here, but you can just feel, take away the cool stuff, the energy just feels off. The energy feels off. And the fact to know that it's like Magnum says, Magnum 58 says, but there's a VP ball every single year. But a show of hands though, before you started learning what you learned about the history of Black people in St. Louis, East St. Louis, did you stop going to the VP fair?
Whew, I did.
I definitely did. I stopped.
I didn't even, yeah, I stopped. I really didn't. My family wasn't really big into that, and I've never been a big fan of fireworks anyway, because it's just loud and you got to clean the mess up the next day. So 4th of July and the New Year's are just holidays I really don't jam with, for real.
Yeah.
Because St. Louis just make you hate them, because we'll start a month before and end a month after, so you can't get no sleep. But
no, facts.
I definitely changed it up a lot, and even to this day, now I understand a lot of people want to, you know, you still can attach family times to this stuff. I understand that, but just know what you're supporting. These days, I don't argue with people that choose to still go to the VP Fair, but I will say, hey, you know what that is now, but I ain't gonna judge you for it. So if you know about it and you still go, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? I can't dictate what you teach in your family, but in my household, we're not gonna support it. But if they do, I mean, I'm not gonna feel a kind of way about it, as long as they know what really went on, you know?
Yeah. And what's crazy is when it comes to the East St. Louis massacre, okay? So one more time, because I know you're getting ready to go on vacation. Thank you, Jason. But before we...
Yeah, what about me, Jason?
I know, sorry. Jason says, sorry, man. Sorry.
Right, what am I?
Pride Month is over. He said Pride Month is up. No, I'm done.
I'm done with you.
So Magnum said the big wigs have that nasty and sickening ball in December. Do you remember around the time when Michael Brown happened? Didn't he crash their ball and they like put him out or something like that?
Ooh, I wouldn't doubt it, but you know what? Let's talk about that young brother for a second.
Go ahead.
That guy right there has his hands in a lot of different things. He's definitely a very, very talented as well as educated guy. When it comes to this type of stuff, oh man, he knows his homework and he does it. I mean, so hats off to Tef Poe, man. Keep doing what you're doing, my brother. You're an icon out here. Literally.
So rewind before we get off. The East St. Louis massacre started where and ended where again?
It started July 1st, and it was actually a lynching that was going on. I think it was like apparently one of the first legalized lynchings in America, right? And it started at that Hooters location downtown, and that's kind of like where it kind of kicked off into what it ended up being. And it lasted for like 4 or 5 days, like to the 5th.
Damn.
You know what would be so cool, Meaghan?
What?
Is if, you know how when we went to Tulsa, how we just, all of this stuff got revealed, and it was just, if we can have one of those here about that, where like we can get down to the real story and the actual facts, so we'll all know like what happened, like at least clear the air. I think that might at least clear some of this vibe, this negative energy we got over the cities. if we could just clear that air, because I think that's probably part of the healing process for what's going on in Greenwood right now. Is like, you know, people are like getting exposed to it, but people are also getting like the real story now, you know?
Facts. That is very true. That is true. It's
Tef
like now
Poe, make that movie.
Huh?
I said, Tef Poe, make that movie, man.
Literally, right? And you know he definitely would. I'm gonna send him this live when we get off. Tell him like, Tef, what up, man? So
Right.
if people, for everybody that is on here, you know what I mean, before we get off, because this was a very quick live, but I really challenge you all to just simply do your research on the history of Keener Plaza alone. It's crazy to see what it looks like now, and it's like all family oriented and all that. But back in the day, y'all, that's where slaves got sold at, right there. Inside of the old courthouse, closed now. They done made it into a museum and everything. But they say it's still haunted to this day, and you could hear the chains of the slaves and stuff that were locked up in the basement. And they would come straight from the river. They would lock them up downstairs. Mind you, I don't know if, I'm sure it was probably dark. You know it wasn't the best conditions. Let's be honest.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, you know it was not in the best conditions. Come on, let's be real. But they would be down there, and because it was right off the river, and the slaves that would get sold, they would sell them right there and auction them off right there in front of the courthouse steps. So when you do your research on Keener Plaza, it will piss you off, and it's I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I find it quite difficult to go over there and just chill and eat a sandwich and eat ice cream and let my kids play without me at least teaching my kids something about it. Having that dialogue about something, because I'm just saying, so Magnum says we have to get this ball rolling on exposing this stuff and talking about it. That's why I agree. That's exactly.
Hey, whatever else you said, Magnum, he said he was talking about that real STL News ain't covering it. And I'm shocked to see that too, because they usually be on that type of stuff.
Well, real STL News, quiet as it's kept. I don't know how real it is. Look at me, look quiet as it's kept. Word is that the owners who previously owned it, or something, that it got taken down or something. Real STL News, I heard, is not the same real STL News it was before.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay.
If you find out, let me know. If I find out, I'll let y'all know. But
I can find out, because I might look into that, because I think the brother kind of lives close to me. So
there you go. I don't know all the details. I don't know the full story, but I'm gonna leave that there. But you're absolutely right, Magna. But that's why we're here. Shout out to Dwayne that just joined. But definitely, for everybody that is on here, I challenge you to do your research on Keener Plaza, because the fact of, with the VP Fair, learning about the East St. Louis massacre, when we learn about where we've been, it makes it very clear to understand how we can use our lives to be impactful, not just to our community, but to motherfucking America. Because I think it's real crazy, and I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna let you go. I have nothing against what anybody's sexual orientation is. I have nothing against that. But the only thing that bothers me is that I wish that the same way that Pride Month gets so much publicity, I wish we would get the same publicity when it comes to Music Appreciation Month for Black people, for African Americans. And I say that with all of my heart, because Black people created a lot of genres that created the American music culture that we know today. Let's start off with the fact of blues. Let's start off with the fact of R&B. Let's start off with the fact of hip hop and rap. East St. Louis DJ Gentleman Jim Gates, aka Needles. Everybody know him as DJ Biko, right? His daddy introduced the song Rapper's Delight to the world. Not a single radio station would play it worldwide. Shout out to Sylvia Robinson, who created Sugar Hill Records. And the way that she got Rapper's Delight, y'all, is because before, hip-hop would only be recorded on the streets, Eddie. Well, not even be recorded. People would they would get live performances out in the streets and at different events. She tried so hard, Sylvia, to get people to record the song. And nobody would agree except for the artist on Rapper's Delight. And it took for an artist, a DJ in East St. Louis, to make the song play on a radio station. Even Edie B, who is a talent on a radio station over in East St. Louis, did not even want to play the song because it's like 15 minutes long. And we all know that. She would play the song to close out her show. So I'm saying all that to say, to come back to a full circle, simply do your research here on St. Louis, and you will find out that not only have we created so many great things here for America, but we sacrificed and lost so much, but we don't get the recognition that we should get. And we're going to start off with doing your research, please, about Keener Plaza, as well as the East St. Louis Massacre. So I want to say thank you to everybody who joined us on our live today. We just wanted to come on here real quick to share our knowledge and that what we learned. And we ask that not only do you share the information that you learn with us and people that you know, but if you know that somebody has the incorrect information, please correct them in a nice way. But I just challenge you to utilize that damn thing that's on the shoulder of yours, on your head. Utilize that brain that you've been blessed with, and pack it up with knowledge and share it, because that's why we do what we do.
Facts.
Yeah. All right, I ain't gonna hold you up. Enjoy your vacation. I'm jealous.
Hey, y'all, enjoy y'all holiday, whether you celebrate it or not. Enjoy the time with your family, because I think a lot of us still gonna be off work. So enjoy the holiday and your family.
You got that right. Well, you have safe travels, and I will talk to you soon.
Peace. See you next week.
Peace.